You over there laughing? There's so many purposes for. So this has got a 200,000 mile LS53. The valve covers were leaking. Customer was a little bit
weary.
I'm just going to call it an issue because it shouldn't just be an issue. But
just
hold on, here we go. Here I go again. I understand. You've been screwed over at so many different places. Blah, 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 blah. You're not at that shop.
Yeah.
So the cylinder head has a black carbon stain on the cylinder head because the oil has been leaking for so long out the valve covers that it's actually cooked to the cylinder head surface. So I told Caleb, hey, hit it with some carbon off. Let's get that off of there because we're not detailing this guy's engine. It's too much of a mess. And the costs are not in the customer's budget, I'm going to tell you that right now, to get this engine polished up and clean right. So at least the areas that we're working on, we're going to make sure we're clean. But I use this stuff for when I have to go in and do GDI valve carbon services, and I let this stuff eat the carbon off, and then it wipes off and sprays off really easy. So I said, let me just hit the valve cover on this, and you can see what it's doing to the valve cover. Now, if it has paint on this valve cover or clear coat, it's gonna nom, 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 eat that stuff right off. So I actually sprayed that on my 22s because the clear coat was so destroyed, it took it down to the aluminum.
That's crazy.
I still have to sand them and refinish them, but it ate the clear coat and ate the paint right off. But it didn't damage the metal. So this is what I actually, carbon services. I've actually been using this for throttle bodies too.
Yeah, I saw.
Because I'm afraid with some of these high mileage turds that if I go and work the throttle plate, that I'm going to ruin the gears inside because they're so friggin' worn. So I've been using this on some of the higher mileage throttle body issues. The lower mileage ones I don't have a problem with because I can trust that the plastics and the materials are not brittle. So, and this stuff works really great. So let this sit for a few minutes. We already told the customer that by no means are we detailing his engine, but we need to start at the top where the oil is leaking out, and then we'll advise you from there. He was concerned that it had a rear main seal issue. It still may, but I can't tell you more than what I see on the top is that these valve covers have been leaking for a long time. Valve has many uses. And it's actually, if you get it on your skin a little bit, it has like this tingly, excuse me, acidy kind of feel. And it's actually got this weird smell and taste in your mouth too. I mean, not that you should be spraying in your mouth, but you know, you get what I'm saying.
Mad Max?
Yeah, Mad Max.
Mad Max over here.
I can't think of what he said. He's like, I live, I die, I live again. And he sprays himself with some silver spray paint or what is that? Never Sees. Here you go, here you go.
Like anti-seize?
Yeah. He's like, I live, I die again, and it sprays his whole mouth silver. We don't use Never Sees very often, you could tell that. I actually just throw this crap out because we don't use it at all.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't think I've ever used it.
So there was a tech years ago, a long time ago, that he was doing wheel bearings, and then I was seeing the customer back for a wheel bearing failure like a few months later. I'm like, well, this isn't normal. Mm-hmm. And then as I'm breaking down the job with him, excuse me, I'm still not over this cold. I said, what the F is this? He's like, why use Never Sees? I'm like, use Never Sees for what? He's like, so it doesn't seize and all. I'm like, Never Sees is like valve grind compound. You don't put that on bearing and surface. He's like, well, it's not in the bearing. I said, when it gets hot and liquefies and mixes with moisture and water, yeah, it's going to get into those pieces and cause the bearings to fail.
The only places I could see doing Never Sees is like between the hub and the rotor.
And I did say to him, I said, that's okay on the rotor, it's okay here where it's going in, yeah, but absolutely not on the bearing, not pressing it in on the bearing, not in the groove, nowhere. Wheel bearing grease, that's it. So he no longer works here, but he learned a lot while he was here. He thought he was a good mechanic. He's an even better one now someplace else. And then as this going, I wonder how fast acting it really is. I mean, I'm just using my finger.
Is that sludge coming right up?
Yep. So they say about 15 minutes, let it sit, but you can see how disgusting that was. Yeah, it basically just liquefies carbon and sludge and just makes things easy. You know, you could use a razor blade. I mean, there's a lot of things. And I always advise my guys, if there's crusties and sludgies, it's going to be disturbing crusting and sludgies, because then it's going to be crusty and sludgy and clogging up crap inside your engine more than it already is. These are the basket cases that don't let your car get so bad. That's my biggest advice.
Yeah.
Stop letting your car get ahead in repairs, and then when you come in, you're not getting a $3,000 and $4,000 bill every time you show up. Like I said to Uncle Rob about his Mazda. Hi, Uncle Rob. We just looked at your wife's car. That the headlights need to be replaced. Just replace them. You're going to drive this car. You love this car. It runs great. It doesn't need a lot of mechanical stuff. So that, you know, is one thing. Two is the vanity light broke because he was trying to fix it. That's two things. Like, if you just take care of them, and if something else breaks, then that's not like 3, 4, 5. Oh shit, the car needs, you know, $5,000 in repairs because I didn't fix it. You know, that's the momentum. And what I was saying, Caleb, about when I was at that other shop auditing the invoices.
Yeah.
The whole time I was there, every car was in the same base for like almost 3 hours. So I walk out in the shop, I'm like, why are all these cars still in the same spots?
Yeah, you need faster return rates.
So I said, what's the problem? I said,
Waiting on approval.
so no, I said, he was on his tablet for the shop. And I said, what are you doing? Looking for a new car? And he just chuckled. And I said, see, these electronic devices and tablets slow down the process. And he wasn't even doing anything. But then I walk over to the car, and the owner and I were looking at the car. And the customer approved the oil change only and declined the grinding brakes and steel belts hanging out of the tires. And I said, wow, it's the same. It's the same crap in my base that's in your base. So I was telling his manager, it's like, you know, when you can't just pick and choose your work.
That was over in V-Land, right?
That was over in G-Land.
Okay.
Glassboro.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll say G-Land. That when you don't have a line of cars for repairs, and the customer doesn't care that their car is unsafe, right? They have enough money for the oil change, but they already knew the tires were shot. They had someone rotate them to the back prior. Now there's steel belts both for your tires, and they were worse than that. Wheel off, and it was grinding away, and the right side wasn't. And they said they declined the hoses, calipers, pads, and rotors. He's doing the right thing, and tires in alignment. That's great. He has the PCV valve locked off, or the hose broke.
The hose broke.
All right, well, you're going to have to patch that in.
Yeah.
So now we're going to be working for free. Yeah, just put that in the thing, and then you start working on the prep surface, and then I'll work on that. And I said, well, if the customer really doesn't believe you, and we call it the e-inspection, so they could just send her the pictures, which was very obvious that there was no brakes ground to death on the driver's side, and the tires were ready to pop as soon as they backed out of the shop. She just said, do the oil change. I said, call her back and say, listen, if you don't have any money, let's break this down to just fix one caliper, one hose, one rotor, pads on both sides. Although it's not a complete repair, at least you could still drive the car safely and put 2 tires on the car. And then come back to get it rectified, you know, the way that we advise. Remember, we're advising the repairs because we're the ones fixing it. And if you want to fix it any other different, then you can jack it up in the parking lot and have Toothless Wonder Crackhead do your brakes for you, you know?
Not in our parking lot.
Not in our parking lot, yeah. I mean, dude, when I was in the end of Pennsauken near Camden, the AutoZone down there, dude, if there wasn't 50 1-gallon oil change containers in the middle of their parking lot piled up, there was at least 100. Those guys down there, coming out of Camden and Collinswood and all that, and I see it all the time. They change their oil right in the parking lot. They go and buy their $50 worth of materials. They jack that stuff right up. They drain the old oil right in the stuff and leave it right there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy. Hazardous materials. I can't do that. If I had hazardous materials in a plastic container piled up in the middle of my lot, they'd hang me.
Or if you had any
hazardous materials
any fluid
leaking
in a clear container that wasn't clearly
correct
labeled.
Yep.
Like,
but down there they can get away with it. But you don't see that at the AutoZone in Cinnaminson. You don't see that as you go to different neighborhoods. You don't see that. But yeah, you drive down there anytime. They're doing brakes, doing rack and pinions, doing engine swaps right in the parking lot.
That's crazy.
Yep. And in the middle of the parking lot, Caleb, it was piled up with 1-gallon containers of used oil.
So I'm not gonna say I've never done some side of the road repairs because I've 100% done some.
You have to.
Like,
but I want to
my
say this.
Suburban. The one time I slammed on the brakes because somebody cut me off and it bent one of the rear trailing arms because it was so old and worn. So I made it almost to a church parking lot. Jude came and pulled me. Just
Is it really an emergency to go to AutoZone parking lot and do your oil change and your brakes and radiator and rack and pinion and engine swaps?
No.
You know why they do that?
Because
they're not really real mechanics, and then they don't have to drive from their house to the parts store. They refined it. I'll just do it right in your parking lot because you let me do it, and I could just run in and out of your store all day long. Either steal everything I need,
Jude and I did
or pay for everything I need.
Jude and I did a belt tensioner on the Jeep in an AutoZone parking lot because it grenaded.
Hold on, there's an ordinance that you cannot work on your own car in your driveway.
That's crazy.
That's in every town. But then you can go to AutoZone and jack your car up and perform every hazardous material service.
I rebuilt a diff on the street in front of my house.
Someone said this the other day. New York's going to become a third world country. We're already getting there.
Why? Is it because there's an immigrant for mayor now? Is that the issue?
That was the rattle on my YouTube. Is like, yeah.
I watched a podcast with him and I didn't.
It's crazy how
his focus.
We're going to get political here a little bit. Well, actually, it's personal because I have to live in this world too.
I don't know. His focus is, I don't think, right.
These sanctuary cities want to stay sanctuary cities.
Yeah.
For probably the end benefit is government money.
Well, no. So
but Trump's saying you're not getting any more government money.
No. So he's not talking about staying a sanctuary city. At least in the podcast that I was listening to, I'm sure he's going to continue to be a sanctuary city.
Absolutely.
But
a lot of free money there.
His main focus was affordable housing, not necessarily Section 8 affordable housing, but making housing affordable.
How about a safe city? Wouldn't that be important?
Mm-hmm. So, like,
how about that? We just want a safe place to live for the taxes that we pay.
I understand what he's talking about, and I like the processes he was talking about going through, but it's such a hard...
Oh, yeah. It's the execution. Like Trump said that...
Execution's near impossible.
Trump said something in a meeting.
And I would be severely impressed if he could actually...
If he can accomplish it.
If he could accomplish it. Because a lot of what he was saying, I would love for him to accomplish.
Same thing. I agree.
A lot of it's very socialist.
Yeah, and here's Caleb. He's a young guy. But Trump said the same thing. He's like, we're almost a year into this, and it's been tough.
Yeah.
And he goes, I hope within 3 years that I can execute everything that I'm trying to. But every turn that he gets, there's another issue, another problem, another resistance. Like, can he really execute all his ideas and plans? I don't know. If you don't think that the Charlie Kirk assassination and the primary electoral process wasn't a strategic move to combat and cause resistance for, and I'm just speaking in the way that I think, and I don't know, to just divide, right? To keep it divided.
I think another issue with why there were a lot of Democrats winning in this off-year election is because of the just national situation right now, considering people can't afford everything, so they see Trump.
Because he hasn't really executed his plan thoroughly. He did say give him a year,
exactly.
But the blue, and I'm saying Charlie Kirk assassination, be it red or blue who caused it or not, that now that the Democrats are keeping the government shut down was a very, very strategic chess move is what I'm going to call this.
Absolutely. 100%.
That they said, okay, well now we're going to make the people think it's all your fault.
Well, exactly. So I can't fault the people for wanting change because they think that red's not doing it, so they want to go blue at this point.
Yep. It was strategic timing.
It's the whole reason that Trump got elected this time around instead of Kamala, because Kamala was under Biden. What happened under Biden, nobody really knows. But it wasn't. But it wasn't good. So people said we want change. Trump got voted in.
And you can see the frustration on Trump's face is like, God damn, these mother effers, these blue cities have really thrown a wrench in this, and they got me.
But now,
hold on.
But come 2028, I guarantee you, a Democrat's in office.
Hold on, but now he's thinking
unless things take a significant turn.
They're like, checkmate, motherfucker, we got you, Trump, right? And now they're pulling out their meat sticks and saying, look how big it is. Now you don't think he's going to come back? It seems like it's tit for tat. Like you just couldn't listen to the program and let it ride. You want us to just continue to take care of everybody else and our own people. And then now the blame ultimately fell on me because I'm the king. And he's like, I'm no king, right? I'm no king.
I just think it's
crazy.
The whole no king protests. But,
stupid.
But I understand a lot of.
So hold on, kudos.
A lot of what Trump's saying is
kudos to the blue team.
A lot of what Trump's
you got the
saying
red team very unhappy.
A lot of what Trump is saying sounds dictator-ish. So like I understand the whole.
You can't be a softie and run the country.
However,
can't.
They say no kings, but they want the government involved in everything.
Yeah.
They want the government to feed them. They want the government to house them. They want the government to do everything.
Well, that's what he said. He goes, what
does that mean?
That system was only designed to help people through hard times, not a lifestyle.
Yes, they I don't know.
So, it is what it is. We have to all live in this world. So, and we could say opinionated, and Caleb could be blue, I could be blue, he could be red, we could be red. We're still going to be friends.
I'm libertarian.
I'm neutralitarian.
Well, exactly. Well, libertarian tends to. I want you to be able to smoke weed as a gay man with your husband and shoot guns in your backyard.
You can do all that. I don't care about any of that shit.
But that's my point. Like,
I don't want crackhead. I don't want crackhead leaders. When they talked about Biden, some was smoking crack and doing cocaine. That's the shit I don't want for my money. And I want to live in a safe neighborhood, right? I don't want to see people living on the streets and begging for money. I don't want to see that in my town that I pay my taxes for. And the school systems, I would rather educate my own children than send them to school, to be honest with you, and not pay the taxes. I want affordable taxes. I want affordable food. I want affordable energy. And I want people to have money in their pockets when they need to go shopping and get things.
Or when they need to fix their only mode of
that goes for anything.
Like,
They can afford to fix their house. They can afford to go fix. Does everybody need to afford a $500,000 home and $100,000 vehicles? No, not at all. Not everybody needs that.
I want a $150,000 house and like a $20,000 car.
That's smart. That's a smart consumer.
But
that's coming though, because
they're saying
the 2008 real estate crash is coming.
I really hope it does, because I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it too. That's what I told the guys in the meeting the other day. I said, yeah, I'm ready to move on to bigger and better things. I'm getting tired of this shit. And they laughed at me. I was like, I'm serious. All right, guys. We're neutralitarians here, but we can all talk and have a discussion and laugh and kiss and hug in the end. This shit's expensive too, so
yeah,
try not to. I think it was like $35 or $40 for a can.
Dang.
From Amazon.
It got almost all of it. I'm just doing another round.
Yeah. Trust me, I want you to do a quality job. You never hear me that I don't want you to do a quality job.
Mm-hmm. Even yesterday, can't hurt to check.
Yep. Well, now I got to go find some work or get work approved. See ya.